Okay, hello everybody. So, this is going to be more of a rant video. So, I have no idea how long this is actually going to last, so... so yeah. So, I don't even know... I don't even really know exactly what I'm going to say, but... do y'all ever feel like you're not enough? And I'm sure anybody who is anybody probably is like, hell yeah. I mean, it's just like, have you ever been not enough for one group and then not enough for the other group and then not enough for this group and that group or that group or that group, and you're just not enough for anybody? And it makes you wonder, wow, I'm so terrible to everybody. I must be awful because no one else likes me. And of course, for me, I like to be like, hey, who cares, what anyone thinks, yada yada. And I get along just fine with that kind of thought process, and I honestly don't care what people think about me. However, it's just, I think the hardest part is you just get so damn lonely. And it's like, and you try to get involved, and with the little bit of motivation you have to get involved, and everyone's too caught up in their own cliques, it's like you're I don't know, it's like you're just not enough for anybody. And it's like you don't really match up with anybody on any personality level. You don't really match up with them in interest. I mean I'll give some pretty huge examples that are very two opposite things, like, that I actually deal a lot with. So it's like, in the LGBT community, I have the problem of, oh, you're not being sensitive enough, you're using the wrong words or whatever. And I try to be respectful because I care about people, okay, and, you say the wrong words and people don't want to be around you because you're not up to their standards. And it seems ridiculous. And then you're alone because you might be gay or you might be trans or whatever, but you're not sensitive enough. You're not using the proper words to use, or whatever. And in some cases, not all, but some cases, it's like, oh, you're religious, and then you're kind of just shunned away and treated like you're a dumbass. Whereas, or like, you're like, hey, I'm conservative, or oh, I'm libertarian, or oh, I'm technically anarchist. People are like, oh, gross, you're conservative, you're Okay, I actually have never heard anyone be like, "Oh, you're gross" over that, but um, y'all know what I mean. It's like you're a bigot, you're a racist, you're a sexist, you're a xenophobic, which honestly I don't even know what that means. I don't know if it applies to just Muslims or all religions in general, but whatever. Or if it's a cultural, like, phobic of cultural stuff. uh, and of course, people are like, oh, libertarian and anarchist. It's like you realize that doesn't work right, and it's like, it's better than what you guys got going. You guys don't got shit going right either. And I have my own personal opinions on that. Like, it's not simple. It's not simple as in, like, oh, people will all be nice to each other, and I'm very well aware people are assholes. But I do believe people are capable of taking care of themselves. As far as libertarian goes, it's kind of like, I feel like it's a nice compromise, honestly. Because I know lack of government can be scary for some people, and I can respect that idea. So yeah, and I mean, obviously, if you have those opposing viewpoints or whatever, people are less interested in what you have to say because you don't agree with them, and of course, like I said, my biggest problem isn't always that, it's sometimes that, but, I guess my biggest problem is it's like, I'm compassionate and respectful, but not to the point that these people want me to be. Because, I don't want to be pushed around. And, it's like, I have a different idea of, what's right, what's wrong, or what should we consider right and wrong. Like, I really get deep into those questions, so it's, anything really varies when it comes to me, honestly. And, yeah. And of course, on the religious side, it's like, oh, well, you're transgender, LGBT, and it's like, and even worse sometimes is it's like, oh, you're non-binary, you are a dumbass, like, and no one wants to listen to what you have to say. And then you're left alone again. And I don't easily fall into cliques. I don't easily, maybe that is my problem. Maybe that's, what's wrong with me, is I don't fall into cliques very easily. I think the closest thing to a clique I've fallen into is, like, when I say clique, I mean, like, here's the people that you hang out with all the time, and like, when you go into the same room as these people, these other people you go straight towards, that kind of clique, like the smaller cliques, like the few friends in a large room kind of thing, or like your 3, 4, or 5 buddies at a club, or an activity that you go to, I just don't fall into that. I don't even have one person really. Like, the closest thing I have are two people. One's my girlfriend, and the other is one of my best friends. That's a weird thing about best friends. Like, I have another friend who I'm like, I still consider her my best friend, but I haven't talked to her much, and it's like, like, at this point, we know each other just about as much as maybe acquaintances, really. So, yeah, you know. Who knows, maybe it's a new psychological advance in evolution to avoid people falling into culture, something like that. I don't know. Like, can I believe that? Can I just believe that for my own sake? Like, I think, hell, I mean, the closest thing yeah, like I said, one of my best friends and my girlfriend's pretty much the only people I constantly hang out with, to the point of, oh, I don't really pay that much attention to other people. And, you know, it's not... Those type of relations with people is good and bad. It's kind of like, yeah, you start really clicking over here with these people, but then you really don't click over here with these people, and you know, it's just I don't know. I'm talking about a bunch of different things all at once, and yeah. I mean, like, tonight I tried to go to a club activity thing here at school, and it's like, everyone just has their own groups of people that they chill with and they hang out with, and those are their people. And for me, I just kind of float there, and I mean, I'd say it's kind of my fault, but at the same time, it's like, I'm just being myself. Is it that bad to be yourself? Like I at least try to be polite. You know, I'm not gonna kiss ass, but I will be nice. I'm gonna try to be respectful. I'm gonna try to honestly and truly get along. If I don't feel like I can truly and honestly get along with you, I'll just... or just be like, hey, I don't think we can get along. You know. But, you know, it's like, you know, this is a group I've been trying to not be around because it's been an issue for a while. Just not getting along very well. And, you know, they're just, I guess, you know, it's just like, I'm there. They know, you know, I'm not a new person. And I feel like, honestly, when in my experience, it's easier to get into groups when you're new, because everyone's like, oh, come over here, and then they figure out what kind of person you are, and then not so interested in you. Because, you know, instead of a blank canvas, you're this ugly picture that nobody wants. And it's like, honestly, I'm not conservative enough to be like, oh, I want to join all these political associations. But then again, I'm also kind of like, I might want to be a lawyer. Who knows? Oh gosh, I, um, I have very contradictive thoughts sometimes. Um, I feel like, that's just what makes me me. You know, it's like I'm not a one-dimensional character. Damn it! It's like, hell, I probably qualify under devil's advocate. Like, uh, but, and it's like, you're not enough to the church, you're not enough to the gays, you're not enough to the conservatives. The liberals are like, oh, fuck you, bigot, basically. I'm kidding, though, in a way. I have friends who are liberal. Honestly, the liberals I bash are probably more like socialist, to be perfectly honest. So, yeah. If I'm squinting a lot, it's because fluorescence. uh, it's like, just, how much time do I have left? Okay. Long ass video, I said. But, it's like, no one cares. And because you're not this cookie cutter outline that, everyone wants you to be like, hell, people either want a square or a circle, but I'm a triangle, damn it. Like, damn. Or, I don't even know. Like, it's like, everyone expects you to be perfect, and that's just not a thing. I am far from perfect, okay? Like, I might be wrong on some things, but damn it, that does not make you, completely right about things. Like, and at least I try to educate myself, I try to make sure I know what I'm even talking about before I try to talk about it. I might tend to use the wrong words sometimes, but, I'm still conveying, in a sense, the same message. Like, I can tell you what I'm doing and what I'm talking about. But depending on but if you don't blur the lines very well with, connotation of different words, then yeah, that's probably where people start hating me, because I probably use some not so great connotative words. Whatever. But yeah, and it's like I said, I'm not new. I'm not this perfect thing that people can look at and be like, oh, you might fit this group or this group. Like, once you get to know me, it's like, you don't fit our group. And then you try to go to another group, and you're like, oh, you don't fit our group either. And honestly, and there are some groups I just don't want to be a part of at all. And it's like, I'm generally open to things, but oh, you know what? Now I think about it, I think I do have a clique at this place where I do like foam sword fighting stuff. Not LARPing, just saying, but similar, but not LARPing, not quite, because that involves roleplay and a lot more things, and this is actually like practice with foam weapons. Anyhow, I keep getting so sidetracked. Oh my gosh. But you know, when you're when you're kind of just, you know, brushed off, like, oh, you know, this person isn't someone we really want to hang out with, or even like not even in a bad sense, just a kind of, you know, no point, you know, kind of man neutral kind of feeling, and it makes you lonely. And I think that's, you know, that's the hardest part about being someone like me who's just like, I don't care about, you know, what you think. I'll be myself if I want to be myself, and you can't do anything about it. And well, people don't take so kindly to that. People, and then you're just kind of alone because, you know, no one wants to really be around you. No one hardly talks to you except maybe one or two people on occasion, assuming they're not busy or assuming they're not just distracted by their other friends or something like that, you know. And I'm an extrovert, okay? So this kills me, like, not having groups. And I don't know why, but I am the most oblivious person when it comes to being aware of, like, student groups and events on campus. Like, I thought this was just a high school kind of sucked at, you know, getting everything out. But damn, even here, like, it's like, you know, it's like I've seen a couple things, especially with some of the international students and stuff like that. In fact, I'm just kind of like, damn it, why can't I be an international student? I actually know more about, you know, these stuff or whatever. Of course, you know, they're kind of like, share the culture kind of thing, and I'm kind of like, maybe, because, you know, I'm interested in culture, but, you know, sometimes motivation makes me like, no, thank you. But, like, you know, actual student groups, like, it's like, I don't even know when or where you meet. Like, I try to sign up for things, and I'm just still left with nothing. And I just want to be, you know, I want to be more involved because, like I said, I'm an extrovert with depression, okay? Like, I love people, but then I get sad, and I lose motivation, and I'm like, I don't want to go anywhere. Ow, lights. But, hell, like, I don't even know. I want to move out of Oklahoma just because this is the worst place for people like me. It's like, you're trans, you're disabled. like, I'd say just blind, but it's like, no, disabilities in general just kind of get screwed over there in Oklahoma. Like, I mean, at least, like, damn. But, yeah, it'd be nice to kind of start new. I'm a little too used to constantly moving, so you know that's how that goes. But whatever. I don't even know. This is like, you know, I don't, I, I don't even know like blind things in like Oklahoma City or whatever. I mean, honestly, it's because there's not that many blind people, but I mean, at least not here in Norman, but it's kind of like anything in, there's really not much in Oklahoma City, there's not really much in Tulsa. The only blind stuff in Oklahoma that ever happens, for some odd damn reason, is like freaking in Muskogee. I mean, okay, there's not odd reason. It's because the school for the blind is there, but still, it's like, the school of the blind is not the only people who are blind, damn it. But, you know, wow, y'all get to hear all the thoughts today. Because I'm just I'm going from, oh my gosh, I just don't even feel like I'm enough, and, you know, like, everything's a cult. Not really, but, you know, everyone has a tendency to fall into cliques, and when you're not new, you're not very welcome into places to basically, you know, gosh, eye itches. Ask any parent of a blind kid, they'll tell you, don't do that. Don't put your hands in your eyes. I've seen that with blind people. But gosh, you know, and you know, my thoughts went for a second, okay, and you know, like, you go from you don't feel like anything, you don't feel worth anything, you know, to cliques and how no one gives a shit about you anymore, to how damn oblivious I am. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, it's like everyone, I swear, I'm convinced that everyone just has this psychic power that's like, oh, yeah, this event's happening over here tonight. Let's all go there and have a great time. Or like, oh yeah, this club exists and this club exists and stuff like that. It's like, are you sure those things exist? I've never heard of them. Like, QSA and D&D Club are the only clubs that I know about. And I know when and kind of where they meet. That's about it. And I'm just like, okay, there are thousands. Okay, probably not thousands, but a little over 1,000. I don't even know. Like, I'm thinking in literal terms, too. You know, put simply, there are hundreds of, you know, student organizations and stuff like that. And for some odd reason, I only know 2 of them. Like, I know other of them exist because I was a part of them, you know, when I was a freshman. But then suddenly, after my first semester, since I'm not a newbie, you know, no one wants to shove it in my face or whatever to And then you get me talking about, damn, Oklahoma's shitty when it comes to disabilities. And, you know, they're shitty when it comes to transgender stuff, too. I mean, you know, I'm not one to be like, oh, let's play a oppression Olympics here. Woo, woo. But damn. And I don't want to be in Oklahoma. I don't want to stay in Oklahoma. The only reason I'm even here is because it gets paid for. And in fact, I probably should actually meet with my vocery. I'm thinking about a lot of things because I'm like, there's got to be more options than me sitting on my ass collecting SSI and going to my classes. And it's got me wondering. And I'm kind of wondering how long do I have to live in New York or some northeastern state that's actually decent. I like New York, at least from what I've seen of it. It's nice. You know, it's like, you know, how long do I have to live there to get shit paid for and stuff like that? Because now I'm just like, you don't have to stay here. But, you know, I'm also closer to people that I care about, specifically my brother and sister, so it's not the worst. It's not the worst. Yeah, so yeah, we've been all over the board. As my video has probably well explained, I am very depressive. Okay, maybe not very. I've been significantly more depressive than this, but I'm lonely, I'm sad, I don't want to be in Oklahoma, because Oklahoma sucks. So, yeah. You know, whatever boredom has it corrupted your brain enough to decide to watch my video of me just ranting about all this stuff. You know, thank you for watching, I guess. Whatever made you decide to, but I guess just for all of you, I guess if you relate to any of the points I've made in this video, and you know, want to chit chat about that stuff, or even want to see me go into a more analytical view of like clicks and stuff like that, and how those work, and how loneliness works, and depression. I don't even know. I am happy to do full-blown analysts, but I need motivation, and you guys are my motivation. And, you know, if you want to see why I hate Oklahoma so much, I'm happy to also be like, hey, Oklahoma sucks. And, like, analyze why it sucks. I'll do it. But, or, like, why everything's a cult. I will scientifically prove it to you, too. Like in a joking fashion, but also in a creepily accurate fashion, too. So, yeah, if you want me to do any analysts, I'll do it. But I need the motivation. Just like my homework. Bye.